What is going on, guys? dcshoecousa here, back with another DC shoe review exclusively for all of you out there. Thank you for following my channel, yada yada yada. Today we have got a come up on a recent DC restock, which I knew was happening. This is on the DC Truth OGs in the original white and navy colorway. The color code here is navy white DNW, but this is the first Truth OG retro that was released in Malaysia around the Raya Puasa time. Basically, I think it was the last day of Puasa. Long story short, these dropped. I was at Kampung over in Matu. There's no internet there. Long story short, I struck out. There were no other restocks until then, until today, which is around the middle of October 2023. To be specific, this was acquired on the I want to say the 3rd or 4th of October. I was just scrolling through, found it, checked out, applied discounts. Long story short, this has now arrived in Malaysia. So, going over the box is just a standard DC box, not the storytelling box like the Benji colorway. So you don't really get a storytelling box, you just get the navy white box that all DC Link OGs or OG retros come in. This, once again, is the color code and product code, just in case anyone says that I have another fake shoe. But when you open the box, you are greeted by that scent of old school skate shoes, and I think Golden Era Collector put it best. But if you're just on the fence about buying this shoe, just buy it for the nostalgia of, yeah, it smells good. But there's a very distinct glue smell to it. But yeah, this is the shoe, guys. This is the Truth OG in the white navy colorway. I would have preferred to have this. I wanted to double up on it, but obviously that's not available. But yeah, let's go over what this shoe encompasses. So the Benji colorway had a different mixture of materials. This one seems to be sticking to a more tried and true durable form of construction of a shoe. The reason I say that is because from the toe cap to the heel, you have an all-around PAL AB 2000 construction. So from the toe, you get that toe cap, you get that on the side panels here, and you also get that on the heel wrapping around to the other side. The Benji version had a PAL AB toe cap with some nubuck detailing in the back and the heel, so that's just like a nice little breakup in colorway. So this one, you get a much more uniform looking shoe throughout. On the underlay of the toe cap and leading up to the midfoot, you have this white nubuck, synthetic nubuck if I may add, and this feels actually pretty close to the Musca, gray Muscas that I recently acquired, and they feel actually very durable to grip tape abrasion. So very happy to report that. You got a DC logo just right there on the toe, and underlying that gray is this white synthetic leather that lines the shoe, and this, I believe, is a single panel going from the toe to the sides to the heel. So that just basically just means 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of what is supposed to be grip tape protection. But in the era of cost cutting, we never actually know if this panel actually leads to the toe, and if this panel actually leads to the toe as well. So I hope it's not just aesthetics. I hope that it too is lending support. The majority of the shoe is made up in this navy mesh, which is where the navy colorway comes from, and it matches with the toe cap that you have. So you have mesh here on the toe, and I think this goes through the shoe from the middle panel of the shoe up until the heel. You've got a mixture of internal and external lace loops. So the internal ones are there on the inside, just over there, and the external ones are the ones that go through the external lace hoops, which is essentially the panel of the shoe. And cinching this up obviously adds a much more conforming fit to your foot when you're inside. On the middle part, you've got a DC logo. Not happy to report that it is not screen printed on like this toe. It is actually stitched on, and that hopefully is a little bit more lasting over time. On the top, you've got a single plastic eyelet done up in gray, and that just basically adds a nice little color break to the white panel that now leads to the heel of the shoe. The lining for the heel is this blue navy lining, which is the same as the toe and the sides. And on the heel, you've got the same sort of stacking paneling. So you've got the Pal AB toe cap, you got the gray panel, and you've got the white synthetic panel. But on that synthetic panel, you have like these nice little ribs that actually just acts as a pull tab, so you can put your finger through there really nicely. But what I love around that back is that it kind of sculpts, and you can kind of see just lines going through that DC logo, and that just also adds structure and is a pretty nice design to the shoe. On the other side of the shoe, you have no air vent, but you do have ventilating holes. That is not featured on this side, but rather on this side. But whatever you see here is the same thing that you see here. Now, going up the laces, you have no spare laces with the shoe, but you have one set of this white navy mix of laces. And if you do go through that, and I don't think you will, but if you do go through that, then probably might have to look for another spare white laces. But these laces are pretty nice. They feel pretty sturdy, and I just wish that you had a spare pair. So going up the middle part of the shoe, you have this gray nubuck, which is the same as the toe, and you've got some ventilating holes just around that gray part leading up to another synthetic white panel and the DC rubberized logo on the top there. And it's nice and textured, but this, obviously, if you don't wear it and you just plan to keep it on ice, will actually unglue over time. Going over to the inside of the shoe, you have got a gray, the blue navy lining the back of the tongue, and the tongue is nicely thickly padded, which is very, very nice and comfortable. Actually, it's not the same navy. It's actually a much more lighter navy, because you can kind of see the difference in that color breaking. So it's like a lighter blue, it's a different sort of blue. Basically, got the size tag there on the heel, on the inside of the shoe, and on the lining of the collar you have the same sort of blue corresponding with the mesh that goes outside, but this is a much more tightly, it's a lining mesh, it's not the external mesh. That's what I'm trying to say. On the insoles, you've got a non-removable insole, but on the inside there, it is just gray with a DC logo in white done up there on the heel of the shoe. You get no graphics, unlike the Benji version, but that's also a nice thing to have, but that will rub off and wear over time. Now, getting over to the most exciting part about this shoe. So the truth basically carries over from the design of the Keyless 1 or the Keyless. So you have like a cupsole construction, this textured white rubber in the front, this very, very sticky translucent rubber, which is, I think, one of the best features on this shoe is just that translucent rubber. You've got the polyurethane midsole with the airbag in the heel, and this time you get a 180 airbag, which is also a pretty nice touch. So the design languages that carried over from the Keyless ones is basically the mesh construction, the all over Pal AB toe cap construction, the semi cupsole construction, which just means that it's rubber in the front, you get foam in the back basically, and most importantly from the skate shoe war era is hashtag bring back the air bubble. So you definitely get the air bubble back in its true glory, although this when I put it on foot is not the most cushioned air bubble, but it's true to the early 90s form of footwear, and it is just a nicely pillared but supported airbag. Basically helps to support landing and doesn't bottom out like the rest of the EVA or the Phylon midsole would. So the runner toe at the front and the translucent rubber at the bottom, which I said in my Benji video, looks exactly like the Jordan 11, because you have the breakup in the middle, the toes and the heel. So for the paws this time, the herringbone paws, you get white rubber, and that's also the same in the heel. And on the middle, you have DC Shoe Company USA done up in white lettering with a navy backing. And on the heel, you get a DC logo just right there. So I think that takes care of the review of the shoe. I have reviewed this already, this specific model being the Benji one. I prefer this one, to be honest, because of the navy lining, and also yes, it is an OG colorway. Not to say that the Benji one isn't an OG colorway. That one's nicer a nicer appeal, but like this is the much more rugged work boot style of a skate shoe, because you can just beat it up, and I think this definitely is worth the money. So 607 RM Ringgit Malaysia, 607 is the retail price for these. If there is a restock, and I hope you come up on the restock, I hope you manage to cop these. And that's basically it from me. TJ Got Kicks 89. This is the Truth OG. Josh Kayles, thanks so much for bringing this back. DC Shoes, you're doing an amazing job with your retro program. Keep it coming. We all love to see the retro shoes come back. Shoes that we couldn't cop from back in the day. And like I said, I'm signing out. See you guys at the next one. The Truth OG.